Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I'm really into my gaming. I enjoy streaming a fair bit. I've been trying to do it a little bit more since being in lockdown. And recently I've been playing a few more games on my Xbox and PS4 and was wondering how to stream those. Now, obviously I know I need a capture card, so I was having a look at what there was available. And I ended up going for an Elgato capture card, the HD60 Pro. Now, Elgato make a whole plethora of streaming equipment, whether that's from the Stream Deck, the green screen, the lights, obviously the capture card and the cam link. So they do quite a lot of high quality gear, not too expensive if you ask me. It's not an ad, but I just generally like the stuff that they put out. But this is a photo video channel. Why am I talking about gaming and capture cards? Well, the capture card actually has a HDMI input. Now, I'll leave that to tick for just 2 seconds. Alright, so those astute among you will have clicked in those 2 seconds that actually you can take a HDMI feed directly out of your camera, plug it straight into the Elgato capture card and be set with live streaming from something like your DSLR, your mirrorless or your cinema camera. I'm actually using it right now to record this video. Currently, I have the M50 set up with a vintage lens, HDMI out, going straight into the Elgato capture card. There are a few hacks, I'm going to cover them in a second, but I'll quickly take you through what you need to do with the capture card first. So with the capture card, obviously you need to put it into your PC. So if you're on Mac, then unfortunately you can't really do this because it's PCI Express. If you're using the cam link, obviously that's just USB. As long as it's plugged into a USB 3.0 port, then you'll have all the bandwidth that you could need and that will sort you out just fine. Next, you want to download the drivers. And after that, you're pretty much ready to go. So you'll need to reboot your PC, start it back up again, and then you're ready to go. So the reason you need to download the software is because it comes with the drivers in order for the capture cards to be able to work properly with your device. Now on a Mac, obviously everything's basically plug and play, so your mileage may vary, but for a PC, I can vouch for the fact that download it, install it, restart, and here we are. I'm going to cover this off for the M50 because I think most YouTubers should have this camera. I think it's perfect if you're a YouTuber, if you're a streamer. One of my friends is a streamer YouTuber and I suggested that he get this camera to upgrade his streaming setup and also to upgrade his YouTube setup. If you already have a mirrorless camera, which you might do if you're watching this video, then feel free to go over to Elgato's site. I've linked it down below where you can check the compatibility for the cam link. Now that is a cam link compatibility checker, but it details all of the specifications for the compatible cameras, whether they're compatible and whether they can provide a clean HDMI feed, which is something that's really key in order to be able to get an image like this. So you've got your M50 or you've got your camera, so obviously you're going to need something to power this for a long time. If you're streaming, obviously you're going to need something to provide it continuous power, something like a dummy battery, or if your camera supports it, power over USB. Take for instance the M50, I have an LPE12 dummy battery inside this camera. That is then going into a USB power bank which is fully charged and that will probably last me all day. So once you've got that all powered up, the next thing you want to do is take a micro USB cable and plug that from your PC into your M50. You'll need EOS Utility 3. Now you'll need a proper data cable for this. You don't want something that just provides power, you need something that's actually going to provide you with data. So something like what comes with one of the Android phones, like before they used USB-C, something like that will do you perfect. So you plug that in, that gives you connection into EOS Utility, and if like me you have it automatic, mine pops up straight away, then you click on remote shooting. Now what this does is it negates that 30-minute timeout that the camera has built into it, which means that you can then obviously stream for more than 30 minutes without having to reactivate the camera. So next thing you want to do is you want to get your micro HDMI cable for the M50. Your mileage may vary on what camera you're using, but you want to take that and you want to plug it directly into the Elgato capture card or plug it directly into the cam link. Now, depending on how you have your camera set up, you're going to see obviously your heads-up display. You want to get rid of that. So on the M50, really simple, just press the info button until it all disappears. On other cameras, not 100% sure, but I'm sure you guys can figure it out. One thing to note, and you probably noticed it in this video, there is no autofocus. Now, I'm using a manual focus lens anyway. I'm using a vintage lens just because I kind of like the character that it gives this camera and this look. So I think it pairs well with the look that I'm trying to achieve for my FaceCam, for my stream / for streaming FaceCam videos in its entirety. So I've used that, so if I'm kind of going in and out of focus a little bit here, I apologize, but it's not something that you usually worry too much about. You usually set your focus and then that's it. This one has quite a narrow blade of focus, and usually I'm not kind of drifting forwards and backwards kind of as much as I am now. Usually I'm facing this way, I'm gaming, and I'm not too worried about it because I barely move like my body when I'm actually playing a game. Now, say for instance you're using something like the Pocket 4K, then what you'll want to do is basically, if say it's not obviously as built out as this, just plug the DC cable in, take the battery out, plug it into the power socket in your house, next to your PC, wherever, plug the HDMI in, then set HDMI to clean feed, and you're well away. Okay, so that's like all of the hacks really for the M50. I hope that gives you guys something to think about for your cameras. So now we're just going to jump in real quick to exactly what to do in something like Streamlabs with setting this up. So in Streamlabs, for instance, when you set a video capture device, you will just set it to Elgato Game Capture HD. When you click that, just give it a couple of seconds. It might take a little bit just to actually appear, because what it's doing in the background is it's running the driver, it's loading it all up, taking the feed in, giving it to Streamlabs. But then it eventually appears, it will appear on the window, and you're good to go. Like, that is pretty much it. The benefits of having something like a DSLR doing it is that you can set, say for instance you have log profiles or you have color profiles, you can set those and then apply the LUTs in Streamlabs. You've got a little bit of play in the color, the saturation, the contrast, all of that. I'm pretty much just using straight out of camera at the moment. I'm not using like Cine Style or anything. I quite like to use on the M50. I actually think the Canon color science works quite well with the natural character of the vintage lens that I'm using. It's a little Chinon 28mm lens. But in terms of the general setup, like, that is pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. So if you want to pick up a Camlink or an Elgato HD60 Pro for doing them streams, you can use it for your camera as well. Now, if you wanted to do multicam, then obviously you'd have to get either another HD60 Pro or you'd have to get another Camlink, or you could get something like the Blackmagic, I think it's Atom Mini. I've seen people like Gerald Undone use this, and I'll be honest, it's really good. I like it. I like what they've got going on there. I think it's great. I would recommend doing that if you want a multicam. I wouldn't recommend this at all if you're doing multicam, because you can't do it. So if you wanted to upgrade your stream with your DSLR mirrorless or cinema camera as your FaceCam, or you just wanted to stream your FaceCam to your YouTube pals for whatever reason, I would suggest getting the Elgato HD60 Pro, because it offers you that flexibility of being able to stream from your console as well. But I'd also recommend getting the Camlink if it's just the camera upgrade that you're after. That is it for this video. Don't forget to like, get subscribed, light the bell to stay up to date for whenever I release a new video. And until the next one, see ya.